Hello guys, Chris here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce GT 1032GB GDDR5 in Assassin's Creed Mirage. If it runs on this thing, I am going to be very impressed. I'm not expecting great things, okay? So this one is the MSI Aero version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not overclocking it, although maybe I should. I'm going to set plus 100 MHz on the core clock and plus 200 on the memory clock. And this is not a big OC by any means, but the GPU is already factory overclocked, so we're bumping it up a little bit further. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Up's GPU Z. Yes, it's a PCI Express 3.0 x 4 GPU. That sucks. And over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5700G and 16GB of RAM just to avoid CPU bottlenecks. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright, the menu is better than I expected, getting 100 frames per second, but of course this is just an image, basically, a little video. We're playing at 720p resolution with 100% resolution scale to start this off, and the lowest settings aside from the upsample, which is set to TAA. We're also going to test it with FSR2, and it's set to native at the moment. Look at this, guys. Look at this. We're getting a smooth 60 while loading, but of course, inside of the game, it drops tremendously. Okay, it dropped more than I thought. Okay, wait. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's going up to 30 frames per second once again. I mean, I wouldn't say it's running, but I would say the game is walking on the GT 1030, which is fantastic, guys. I don't remember the last time I saw a new title be playable on the GT 1030. Maybe back in 2018 or something like that. Look at this. Oh, no. I don't know if this is playable. I actually know that a lot of people in the comments usually tell me that 20 FPS is okay. Ooh, that's a massive stutter. Yeah, especially with lower-end systems like with the GT 1030, you know. By the way, we do have that 5700G, once again, paired with the 1030, but you don't need that. And you don't even need 16 gigabytes of RAM, because it's only using like 10 of it. Which is very impressive, because we only got 2 gigabytes of VRAM on the GT 1030, and it seems like it's not running out of it too much. I think those little stutters might be because of the VRAM being maxed out for a split second there, because I think it actually slightly dropped the VRAM usage when it stuttered a bit. But yeah, anyways, it doesn't really stutter too much. So it means that it's like consistent 20 plus frames per second 95% of the time, I would say. And again, I don't feel very comfortable with this experience, but somebody used to be playing games with these older low-end GPUs might be used to 20 frames per second. I don't know. I would probably just play Assassin's Creed 2 or something like that. It's probably a better game anyways than Mirage is. But yeah, for a 2023 title to be delivering cinematic frame rates in a 1030, it's very impressive. Now let's go ahead and enable that FSR2. I'm going to set it to quality first, and then I'm going to try it with the adaptive resolution if it doesn't get 30 plus all of the time. Okay, there we go. This is it. FSR2 at quality, and it still looks okay. It's passable. It's not like a blurry or a complete blurry mess compared to other titles with FSR2 at 720p. But unfortunately, as you can see, it is still not achieving 30 plus all of the time. Still dropping into the cinematic frame rates of 24 frames per second. Can you jump over that? Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, down here, still 20s. At this point, it might actually be a bandwidth limitation here on the GT 1030. It's a PCI Express 3.0 x 4 card, so it kind of sucks in that regard. Usually we see in a lot of new titles that lowering resolution doesn't really improve things by all that much on a GT 1030. That's because it just doesn't have the bandwidth to do it. It's the same thing with the GT 710, you know, a few years back. Even if I play that 7p resolution in PUBG, for example, with a GT 710, which I did a few times, it still didn't get 30 plus FPS. It was still getting around the same FPS at like 360p at a much lower resolution. Anyways, we managed to improve the averages slightly, okay, from 24 or 25 to 27. That can make a big difference here to the smoothness perception of the game, you know? It's still gonna feel like crap, but I mean, 2 FPS when we're talking about 20 frames per second is 10%, so I'll take it, okay? Oh my gosh, they're sounding the trumpets right now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, let's stop it there. We got 27 FPS average right there, as you can see. And now let's try it with the adaptive resolution or adaptive quality. I'm gonna aim for 30 frames per second, and you can see right here that it's just resolution scaling or dynamic resolution scaling. By the way, I didn't notice this, but it says that it needs 3 gigabytes of VRAM with these settings, which is kind of insane. But again, it's not really stuttering and it's not using a ton of RAM over the normal, you know. It actually utilizes around 10 gigabytes usually on higher end GPUs of RAM, not VRAM. So it's fine. It's actually a breath of fresh air, you know, when it comes to that VRAM utilization or allocation. Maybe it's just not actually using the 2 gigabytes, just allocating all of the 2 gigabytes. Anyway, 30 FPS on average is what we're getting here, with pretty terrible visuals at the moment. I wouldn't really do this. I think, you know what, if I really must play this game on a GT 1030, first of all, I would definitely not spend $50 on the game to play at 720p lowest settings with like quality FSR. But if you must, or if you were given the game for free and you want to experience it for a little bit with a 1030, well, I would probably choose to lock it to like 25 frames per second with FSR2 on quality and 720p lowest settings. And then, yeah, if you get used to it, maybe add a little bit of motion blur at the same time. I guess you could get away with it. I, for example, played Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time for a few hours, like 10, 20 hours, yeah, something like that, I think, with a GeForce 410M laptop. And that delivered 20 to 30 frames per second most of the time, and it was a huge jump from my G103M laptop, which sucked. It got like 8 FPS. I don't know how I remember these numbers. What the heck? Oh boy, yeah, gaming was a big part of my childhood. That's why I'm here today with you, my friends. Anyway, 29 FPS average is what we get here with the adaptive resolution scaling, which, yeah, looks really terrible. So let's try it out with like balanced FSR2 next without the dynamic resolution scaling or adaptive quality. Balanced FSR seems to be what it was aiming for, using that adaptive quality most of the time at least. It looks very similar and it's getting the same 29-30 frames per second. So there's that. Of course, it will drop a little bit further here because it's not dynamically adjusting the resolution. So we might see lower 1% lows compared to the adaptive stuff. But it also is more consistent when it comes to the visuals, you know. It looks a little bit better. Hello guys, how are you going? I'm just gonna assassinate you because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm an assassin here in this game. I'm so sorry. I didn't make the game, okay? Oh, okay, there we go. You saw that, didn't you? All right. Oh, no, come on. Yep, run away. No, fight the bastards! Fight the bastards! Let's go, buddy. Oh, Bazim. Still don't know the name of the guy that I'm playing with. Yeah. No, I'm gonna die. Yep. Whoa, I'm not dead. I'm not... That was so weird. Okay, hi. Oh, this one is a bad one. Oh boy, hello donkeys from Shrek. How is it going? Oh yeah, I totally forgot. The water is really intensive in this game. It's dropping like crazy here. Well, to 26 FPS. So I guess if you locked it to 25, it wouldn't really move, you know. So again, it's not great. It's just a little bit better than I expected for a 2023 title. So I'm not too mad at this performance, you know, and the fact that it doesn't stutter helps it a lot. It's interesting because on my 13600K back there, with any GPU that I use with it, if I don't disable the E-cores, it stutters like crazy. So I could say that this is a smoother experience than a 13600K with 32 gigs of DDR5 and like a 4070 Ti, which is what I'm going to be testing next, by the way. And I've also seen some people that used my fix and it worked for them, and others are saying that it didn't work for them. So yeah, I'm at a loss here. I don't know how to help you anymore. It works for me and for a few other people as well. Just Ubisoft needs to fix it, you know. Let's stop it there. 31 FPS average. See, we're reaching playability slowly at a very big sacrifice of graphics, of course. But let's set it to performance. FSR2 next. And okay. Alrighty, we're above 30 frames per second all of the time right now. All you need to sacrifice is your eyeballs. Oh no, oh, it still drops a lot. Okay, still to the same values actually, around the water, to 26 or so. It's not too terrible though in terms of FPS. I'm just looking at the FPS, not the image, because I don't want to burn my head right now. I still have the 4070 Ti video to make and upload today. But yeah, no, okay, over here it's already dropping a little bit as well. I think like the vegetation, just this little bit of vegetation is also making it drop quite a bit. So it doesn't run that well, my friends. You should not buy this game with a GT 1030. That's what everybody already knew, I guess, right? Let's go back to the big city. All right, there we go. Looking at it from above, 28, 26, 24. Okay, so this is where the bandwidth limitations are taking place. Another... Oh, come on, mate. And by the way, I'm fine. Performance FSR2 is actually half the resolution, so we're playing at 360p at the moment, being upscaled to 720p. It looks much better than native 360p. We're gonna take a look at that in just a little bit, but yeah, it's still not enough for us to achieve 30 frames per second. Okay, I'm gonna set this back to TAA before we test like ultra performance, which is gonna be absolutely terrible. This set to native, and I am gonna set the resolution scale manually to 50%. So this is 360p now, but without the upscaling part of FSR2, and this is what it looks like. See how much work FSR2 was actually doing here, guys. I mean, we still have TAA, and it's trying its best to smooth out those edges and stuff, but this is 360p with TAA right here. Looks so much worse than FSR2 upscaling from 360p. So even though that a lot of people, and including myself, say that DLSS is way better of an upscaling technology than FSR2, that doesn't mean that FSR2 is terrible looking. Especially in this title, it does a pretty good job actually, and it's worth enabling at 1080p and above in my opinion. Maybe at 900p on quality as well, but at 720p it starts looking pretty rough. At this point I think we are never gonna see... Oh, there is no ultra quality. I think we're never gonna see 30 plus, guys. No ultra quality on XeSS either. Let's try XeSS Performance as well. Why the heck not, right? It's a small video anyways. Oh boy, yep, it is the same thing. But once again, it's looking pretty alright compared to 360p. But I'm not too sure about the resolution that it's upscaling from with XeSS. It's a little bit different sometimes. It also has an ultra quality preset. Not in this game, by the way, only quality in Assassin's Creed Mirage, but it works really well. And it gets exactly the same FPS as native res with 50% resolution scale. Maybe we can lower the resolution? Like, what's the minimum? Oh, it's 720p already. So that's been it for this video, guys. Damn it. This is crappy. This is FSR2 performance at the moment. It still drops into the low 20s in this area right here. It's like the most intensive area that I've come across so far, actually, while testing other GPUs. So yeah, it doesn't perform well. So yeah, that's the performance with the GT 1030. The game is well optimized. It can run on stuff like GTX 1050 Ti absolutely fine, even at 1080p low native resolution. But asking for a GT 1030 to play it well is asking way too much. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one very soon with a 4070 Ti. And as always, love you all. Bye-bye.